You were not supposed to see me like that. So listen close. If you breathe one word, I'll end your life in this building before sunrise." The sentence came out of the CEO's mouth like a blade wrapped in silk.
The black janitor in the hallway
Felt his knees lock. One wrong move could destroy him. But what happened next would flip his world upside down forever. David Carter worked the graveyard shift in a glass tower that looked like it was built to touch the stars. In daylight, the building belonged to people in sharp suits who talked in numbers that could buy neighborhoods. At night, it belonged to people like David. The cleaners, the guards, the quiet workers who made everything shine before the morning rush. After midnight, the halls smelled like floor polish and old coffee. The lights were soft and cold, the kind that made every reflection feel honest. David moved through those halls with a mop bucket and a key card that had seen better days. His shoulders were broad but tired. His eyes carried the weight of years that never fully rested. He was a black single dad raising his 6-year-old daughter Nia alone since her mom left 3 years ago. Life had tightened around him like a belt, pulled one notch too far. Every dollar had a job: rent, groceries, Nia's inhaler. The school fees that came with no warning. The tiny gold earrings she wanted for her birthday that he kept saying maybe to, because maybe was cheaper than no. He never complained out loud. Complaints did not keep lights on. He worked. He listened. He saved what he could. And when Nia slept, he sat by her bed some nights, watching her chest rise and fall, promising himself he would not fail her, not even if he had to disappear into this building every night to make it happen. That evening, something felt off the moment he entered. The lobby still held a faint smell of expensive perfume and stress. There had been a late investor meeting. He had heard staff whispering about it earlier. The board was uneasy. The stock was hanging by a thread. The CEO had flown in at the last second. None of it was his world. But he knew when a building was holding its breath. He was finishing the last stretch of the executive corridor when a voice crackled through his headset. "Spill by the CEO lounge. Clean it now. Security wants." The floor cleared before morning. David breathed out slow. The CEO floor was not a place you wanted attention, not because of fear, but because of the kind of power that could erase you without raising its voice. He rolled his cart toward the private suite. The corridor was dim, the carpet thick, swallowing. Sound. He saw the spill ahead, dark and glossy under the light. Coffee, maybe? He knelt, set down a caution sign, and started wiping. His keycard swung from his belt. As he leaned closer, it brushed the lounge door scanner. The lock clicked. The door drifted open a narrow inch. David looked up by instinct. Inside, under warm golden light, stood Alina Vaughn, the CEO, the woman whose face lived on screens and whose decisions moved markets. She was turned slightly. Away, suit jacket in one hand, blouse half off her shoulders. She was changing fast, like a person who lived in a race against time. David's breath evaporated. His head snapped down. His hand pushed the door shut immediately like he could erase. The moment by moving fast enough, heat rushed to his face. His heart slammed. It was an accident, but accidents did not matter much when you were the wrong person in the wrong place. One rumor could end his job and follow him into every paycheck after. He stood up too quickly, fingers trembling, and turned to leave. The building felt suddenly smaller. The hallway felt like a courtroom. Then the lounge door opened behind him. David froze. Alina stepped out. Fully dressed now, hair slightly loose, in a way cameras never caught. Her face was calm, but not gentle. Her eyes pinned him like a spotlight. The hallway air went hard. David felt his mouth go dry. He waited for security to appear. Waited for a shout. Waited for the moment that would end everything. Alina spoke first. "You were not supposed to see me like that. So listen close. If you breathe one word, I will end your life in this building before sunrise." Her voice was low and sharp, not loud, but final enough to stop time. David swallowed. There was no room to defend himself, no room to be offended. He understood fear when he heard it. He nodded once, still staring at the floor. Alina watched him. Then she asked something unexpected. "Why did you shut the door?" David blinked. He did not understand. Most men would have stared, or tried to talk their way out while still staring. You did not. Why, the question hit him like a gust of clean air. He lifted his eyes slowly. He chose his words carefully, the way he chose his. "Steps around fragile things, because you are a person, ma'am, not just a title. I messed up, did not want to disrespect you." Elena held his gaze, the threat in her posture loosened by a hair. She looked him up and down, taking in the gloves. The tired respect sitting on his face, like she was running a quiet test she had not planned to give. "What is your name, David?" "Carter." "How long have you worked here?" 2 years. "Nights. Do you have kids?" He hesitated. Nobody on this floor asked cleaners about their lives. But something in her tone was not mocking. It was searching. "Yes, my daughter." "Nia 6. Elena glanced down at the spill, then at his hands. The knuckles were raw. The palms carried long hours. She saw what people like her rarely saw up close. Work that was honest and unseen. "Did you open the door on purpose?" "No, ma'am. My keycard hit the scanner. Swear." She believed him before he finished. He felt it in the way her shoulders settled. Trust like that was rare, felt almost unreal. "You stayed respectful in a moment where most people would have panicked," she said. "That tells me something about your character." David stood still, not sure if he was safe yet. Elena looked past him at the long, empty corridor, then back to him. "I have a flight in 3 hours. My team just left me a pile of reports that need sorting before morning. I need help, not with cleaning." With numbers, David thought he misheard. She continued without blinking. "I saw you here during the outage last month. 4 in the morning, you were still working. You were humming to keep yourself awake. You've been here every night since. Quiet. Reliable. And when you had a reason to act wrong, you did not." She waited a beat. "Can you read spreadsheets?" David's mind spun. Rules, boundaries, risk, but also a door that had creaked open a little. "I took community college classes before life got tight." Elena nodded once, like she had found what she was looking for. "Come in, sit. Help me sort this. Now we'll be paid for your time." David followed her inside. The lounge was wide and silent city. Lights glittering through glass like scattered coins. Papers covered the table. A laptop glowed beside a cold cup of tea. Elena moved fast, but not frantic. She slid files toward him, pointed to graphs, asked direct questions. David started carefully, scanning the data, marking errors. Then he noticed a pattern in shipping delays that nobody had flagged, a quiet leak that could cost millions. He explained it simply, not trying to impress her, only trying to help. Elena listened like his words mattered. Each time she nodded. A stronger version of David woke up inside him. It's the one who liked learning. It's the one who once dreamed of more than survival. 2 hours later, Elena leaned back, eyes thoughtful. "You are not meant to push a mop forever." David felt his throat tighten. "Not from fear this time. I do not know what I am meant to be," he said. "I just know my daughter needs me working." Elena's voice softened. "And she deserves a father who can. Look up sometimes, not just down at floors." She opened her calendar, typed quickly, then pushed a card across the table. "Tomorrow at 10, go to HR. I am sponsoring you for our Night Today advancement program. Tuition covered. Paid hours for classes. A track into operations if you want it. You already did the hard part tonight. You showed who you are when it mattered." David stared at the card like it might vanish. "Why?" he asked quietly. Elena met his eyes with something like truth. "Because real power is not what you crush. It is what you lift. And tonight you reminded me, dignity still lives in this building." David walked out of the tower as the sky began to pale. The city smelled like rain and early bread from a bakery down the street. He sat in his car longer than usual, breathing like a man who had been underwater for years and just broke the surface. That evening, he picked Nia up from daycare. She ran into his arms, hair smelling like soap and crayons. He held her a little tighter. "Daddy, why are you smiling like that?" she asked. David looked down at her and felt the future open like a door that had been locked too long. 'Cause sometimes, Peanut, one good moment can change everything. If this story hit you, comment where you were watching from and what part stayed with you most. Have you ever had a moment that opened a door after years of walls? Share your thoughts and subscribe for more stories about quiet strength, sudden turns, and lives that change in a single breath.